Hi, welcome back to Tapping In with Cheryl. I'm really excited today because I have a special guest with me, my friend Jess.
Hi.
And I've known her for a couple of years. And we're here for a very special reason today. We're here to pay tribute to someone very near and dear to her heart. Would you like to talk a little bit about our special guest that we're paying tribute to today?
I would. Well, so first of all, his name is Bobby, and he was my boyfriend who passed away in 2022, so almost 4 years ago now. And the reason that we are going to talk about him today is because Cheryl has recently gotten to know him through some channeling endeavors. And we've had some interesting experiences talking to Bobby on the other side. And she feels like she knows him now.
I really do. I've channeled him several times. I looked back in my notes, and it was just over a year ago when Jess first asked me. She gave me some names. She didn't tell me who it was. But very quickly I was able to tell who it was. And I do have to say, Bobby has a huge personality. He's a lot of fun. But you also need to know, I do not edit anything. When I'm just going to give you the messages, how they came out. I have to put that disclaimer up there because he's very, very colorful. He's a lot of fun. And I do feel like I know Bobby, and he shows up quite often to give Jess a message. So, anyway, shall we just dive into some of that right now?
Yeah. So I guess to preface, about a year ago when I told Cheryl his name, like she said, I didn't tell her any details about who he was. She didn't know that I was in a relationship with him. Nothing. I just said Bobby and gave her his name, and she was dead on with a lot of it, and we were able to verify a lot of it afterwards too. But we can read the first one that she got last year.
Yeah, this was just over a year ago, and my first impressions about Bobby was that he was young and that he might have been Jewish or he had some kind of religious affiliation. And you said, yeah, he was Catholic.
Yeah, his family was very Catholic. He was young when he died. He was 27.
I also got that he was a junior, a Robert Jr., and so,
which he technically is. His dad's name is Robert as well.
I also got that he felt out of place in his life, and he didn't feel like he had roots. He had issues around money. I got that he had a mark on his right groin area, like a birthmark or a scar.
Which he actually had a tattoo on his right thigh that he had given himself a tattoo on his right thigh, so she was on point with that. It was like one of those stick and poke.
Owie.
Yeah.
And he says, I'm really sorry for the way things went down. I caused a lot of people pain. I'm sorry I couldn't find myself. I didn't mean to do it. I have all kinds of regrets. And then he says, hot damn. And then I got that he was a welder, or he worked with metal in some way.
And he wasn't a welder per se, but he worked with his hands. He was a contractor, so he was a professional. He was a painter. He did certain woodworking stuff. He worked with his hands every day, so that was close.
Yeah. He says, I'm trying to be more clear. Jess is a good girl. She's strong. I mean, really strong. Thank you for reaching out to her. I don't want her to fall back. And then this is one that baffled both of us. I was seeing somebody working in a deli, like slicing meat on one of those slicer machines. I don't know what you call them. And you didn't know what it was.
I had no idea what you were talking about. I'm like, I don't know. But afterwards, I sent the message to Bobby's parents. And I said, do you know what this part means? And it turns out that he, for a period of time before I knew him, worked at a grocery store in the deli. And I didn't know that.
Well, there's always surprises that
was
surprise
a surprise.
all of us. And then I got New York, and it's like, did she get a tattoo in New York? And you did.
I did. Yep.
And he says, I'm back with the gang now. We're all much better on this side. Do you want to explain a little bit about what the gang is to him?
Yeah, so before he died, he had a lot of friends who passed away young because Bobby was he was an addict. He struggled with drug addiction for a long time, and a lot of his friends did too. And he had a lot of friends who passed away young. So when he says, "I'm with the gang now," I assume that means he's with all of his friends who passed away young.
Yeah, that's sad. Yeah.
And that is how Bobby passed too. He passed away from an overdose unexpectedly.
And he says, "I was never going to be able to give Jess what she deserved," and that's where I got the hit. Oh, that's her boyfriend. That's the part right
That's when
there.
you realized?
That's when I realized. Oh, this is your boyfriend. Before that, I didn't. Up until that point, I didn't get that. He says, "I had to leave. It was better for me and you. I was holding you back. You have so much more to discover about yourself. You couldn't move forward with me hanging around. I'm sorry I left so suddenly. I'm excited about the new life you're making for yourself. Didn't see the Arizona thing coming. But you needed a big change. Good for you, girl."
The Arizona thing is, we lived in Pennsylvania, and I had suddenly decided to move to Arizona with no warning. That's another story for another time, but yeah.
And he says, I'm still feeling kind of this frenetic energy from him, like he's not quite getting settled. But he's doing very well. And he's getting a lot of clarity on the other side, and he's doing his work there that he wasn't able to do here, which I think is always interesting. We're going to evolve, our soul's going to evolve one way or the other. You can do it here, you can do it there. It doesn't matter. And then there was something again about a tattoo, and so I'm thinking, did she get a tattoo of him? For him, or did he get a tattoo for her? What?
Well, that actually, a few months before he died, we went to a tattoo convention in Philadelphia, and he got a tattoo with me there. It wasn't necessarily for me, but it was just a tattoo that he and I had decided on together.
He felt like he was in his father's shadow. And you kind of confirmed that. And then I did his mom have an alcohol issue?
Yep, and she was in recovery from alcoholism too. She's been in recovery for many years now. So.
That's awesome.
Yep.
And something about a disturbance in the family. He may have been the disturbance in the family, actually.
Yes.
Addiction will do that to families very easily. He says, "I don't feel needy anymore. I don't need anything to fill me up." And that's probably reference more to the drug use, I'm guessing.
Yeah, well, and also when he was alive, he often told me, like, he always just felt so needy, and he just wanted to be loved, and he felt needy all the time, and he would say that very often too.
Oh,
so
really?
That's what that's in reference to. Yeah.
Okay. And there was something about a polar fleece blanket with red on it. I don't know, I don't remember if we confirmed
you know what?
that.
I don't remember if we confirmed that or not.
I don't remember. I didn't make a note there. And the flowers somewhere for him.
Which, yeah, we definitely had flowers for him.
And that he was cremated.
Yep.
And this was kind of sweet. He mentions coffee and a cozy place. So you want to talk about that?
That's in reference to our house. We owned a house together, and we always called it our cozy space because it was just, the energy was immaculate there. It was so cozy, and our morning routine was to drink coffee together, and that was our favorite thing, was to drink coffee together in the morning in our cozy space.
And then to Jeff, he says, "Hey girl, you amaze me. You taught me a lot. Wish I would have listened to you more, but it's all good. Don't be sad for me. Our time was up. You were a beautiful gift to me. I'm happy now. There's so much here to explore. It goes on forever, literally forever. You're strong. You're so strong. No regrets, baby. I do love you." And you wanna talk about that statement?
That I do love it. Yeah. Well, when we were together, I mean, when you're dating an addict who's in and out of recovery, you question their love for you. And I would wonder, like, if he really loved me, he could stay sober. You know what I mean? So I assume that's what that's in reference to. I mean, I know that he always loved me, but when someone's in active addiction, they don't always show it.
You get a lot of Jekyll and Hyde.
Yep.
And like so many people know that deal with addiction or have loved ones that deal with addiction, it's a rocky road. And it was a rocky road for Bobby. But do you want to show your picture?
Yeah, we might as well show a picture of him. This was by his bedside when he died. This was a picture of us together. And obviously that one's Bobby. So you know who we're talking about. But
I love it when people share their pictures of the people that I've channeled for them, because I was just telling Jess earlier, there's something very powerful about seeing the face behind the message that I'm getting, and I love that when people share those pictures with me.
It makes it more real.
Do you want to move on to one, or you want to share something else?
I don't really know what else to
Okay.
share, so we'll move on to the next
We'll
one.
move on to the next channeling. He says, she's quite a girl. Well, I should say woman now. I had no idea of her strength when I was here. Now I see her for who she really is. I'm so proud of her for being true to herself and not conforming to what other people think she should do. I know, baby, it's been hard to be alone, but you've made good use of this time. You know yourself so much better now. I didn't have a clue who I was. I wasted a lot of opportunities. That's not you. You're not wasting anything. We were kind of young and stupid, but you grew up. I didn't have the courage to do that. I'm amazingly proud of you. Please tell my mom and dad I'm sorry for the pain I caused them. They didn't deserve that kind of anguish. I'm so sorry for so many things, but let them know I'm happy and free here. Kind of like one big NA meeting. And he winks. We're getting our shit together here. So much easier now. I didn't love my family the way I should have. We weren't perfect, but there was love there. I love them from here. I love you from here. That will never end. Love is the most profound thing that I didn't understand before. Now I do. And then he mentions the name Gracie.
Which I didn't know what that meant at first. So again, after Cheryl sent me this, I sent it to Bobby's parents and asked them what certain things meant. Apparently Gracie is Bobby's parents' nephew's daughter or something. I still don't know who it is, but Gracie is someone. So.
Yeah, it's someone related. She just doesn't know
I don't
personally.
know who it is.
He says, life doesn't have to be hard. I made it hard because I was so afraid. Know that I am your best cheerleader. I look out for you. And then I heard Sammy. Sammy, Susie, something?
I don't think we ever confirmed that, but one of Bobby's family's closest friends' name is Susie, so that's the closest I can think of.
This isn't perfect. Remember, it's being through my perceptions.
Yep.
I'm just working on it's not perfect, but I usually get most of the
Close,
list.
yeah.
I get really, really close.
Yep.
We were so in love. We just didn't know what we had. You need to hear that. I really see you now. I get you. And then he's pointing to your ring on your finger, which is this.
I guess it's like a smart ring. It's like the aura ring.
So I don't know if he was kind of fascinated with what that did
Probably.
or didn't do. I don't know. You don't have to work so hard at figuring it out. It's all taken care of. There's nothing you have to do. It doesn't matter where you move to. I am always there with you. Have a good life. Don't spend too much time looking backwards. It all happened the way it needed to. My only regret is that I wish I was more aware. What you're doing is phenomenal. Keep it up. And then patches. You got to tell the story about patches.
Okay, so Cheryl got the word patches in this message, and I had no idea what she was talking about.
I didn't either.
I was pulling at straws. I'm like, I don't know. He used to collect patches and put it on like his jean jackets and stuff. I was like, honestly, I have no idea. Sent it to his parents afterwards, this message, and apparently patches is a thing. So Bobby was a big music junkie, from music from the 70s, 60s, 70s.
Best era ever.
Both he and his dad were music junkies, and he and his dad worked together. And they would often play this song that was called Patches, and I can't remember who it's by now. But it was an older song.
It was
and
70s, yeah.
It became an inside joke between them where Bobby's dad would call Bobby Patches. And there was a line in the song that they would say to each other all the time, and it was an inside joke, so they'd start cracking up when they called each other Patches. I didn't know any of this, again, and Cheryl picked that up. And like, when she first told me, I was like, I have no idea what she's talking about, but apparently it was a big thing. And when I sent it to his dad, he said, I have full body chills. We called each other Patches.
But like I said, I don't edit anything. I just take dictation. I write down what I hear.
I'm glad you don't
what
edit
I feel,
anything.
what I see, what I feel, and then my job is done. It's up to her to figure out, who it's for. We'll figure out and put the puzzle pieces together because I don't know all the backstories.
Right.
I can't connect the dots. But it's like I wondered what that meant too. It's like, that's odd, but I've written a lot of odd stuff.
Right, and there are things like you may not find the answer until years later even too. Like, so if you get a reading from someone and something doesn't make sense, don't rule it out because it may come back around. Yep.
Yeah, just put it on a shelf, and then, like you said, it might be weeks, months, a year later, and then it goes ding, 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 and you get it. I always ask for them to communicate as loudly and clearly and as, because I want to receive it correctly, and I have no interest in doing this if it's not accurate, because I am not interested in messing with people's feelings and emotions. It's just not what I'm doing here. And I'm not going to make up anything for anybody either. If I don't get it, I don't get it.
Well, and that's why I like that you don't filter out the things that don't make sense, because like you said, they always do wind up making sense later.
Eventually, if you're patient with it, most of it does, come to the surface.
And then that's just more credibility that she is communicating with who she says she's communicating with.
Well,
verifiable.
Bobby definitely has a big, big personality. I always said after doing several of these readings, with Bobby, is like, I would have really loved this kid in this lifetime. He's just so full of color and expression. Yeah, but anyway,
he was.
I'll finish this one up. The only important thing is to know that you are fully loved. Nothing else matters. The world is upside down, but you stay straight. You are so powerful. Damn, you are full. You are a full-on ISIS bitch. And he's laughing. And I got to tell you, when he called her a full-on ISIS bitch, I stopped, I got my pendulum out, and I said, am I really supposed to write that?
Yes, you are.
And it's yes. I'm like, okay then. Like I said, I don't edit.
And that's how Bobby spoke too. That's exactly how he spoke.
Yeah, and that's what, she's always telling me, well, yeah, he would have said it that way. He would have said it that way. It's like, okay, I'm really getting this vibe.
That's how I know you're not just making this stuff up. Because it's exactly how he spoke.
Yeah, he says, yes, I was fortunate to have you in my life. Kind of crazy, though. I just want you to be happy and safe. You are a bright light, and I see you. Be easy on yourself. Sometimes you expect too much. So, yeah.
That was a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, I got to say he's one of my very favorite ones to channel because he's just, I want to say he's so full of life, and he still is. Yeah. I talk about Bobby in the present tense because he's still around. His spirit is eternal. And
he likes to visit Cheryl all the time, so he's definitely still around.
Well, actually, this next one that I'm going to share with you, I was meditating one morning, and Bobby was trying to pop in because I recognize his energy very easily now. And it's like, but I was trying to talk to somebody else at the time. And I kind of was trying to push him to the side, and he just kind of kept pestering me. And finally I said, okay, I have to go put gas in my car, and I have a few errands to run, but when I come home, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to listen to you. And I did. I keep my word with him. But this is one, and this was for his siblings. And I remembered you said he had a sister, but I didn't remember that you said he had two sisters.
Yeah, you didn't know the details.
Yeah, I'm not real... I kind of like it that way. I don't really want to know the backstory too much. I want them to tell me their story.
Yeah, I did make a point not to tell too many details, so she did not know that he had two older sisters.
But anyway, this one is specifically for his sisters. And he says, the first part he's talking to me. He says, you're my friend now because you listen to me. I appreciate that. People didn't listen to me. I didn't know how to connect. That's why the drugs made it easier to be here. Yeah, I know that wasn't a good idea. I wasn't meant to be here long. Geez, it was an intense ride. And this is to the siblings. I really fucked it up for you. I'm sorry. I kind of hogged all the attention because I was so fucked up. I'm really sorry. That wasn't fair. I don't know how to make it up to you. Please forgive me for making your life hell too. But you gotta know, my crazy can make your crazy less intense. Don't make my stupid mistakes. I'm watching over you. I haven't forgotten about you. Sorry you got lost in the mess. I just didn't know how to live on this planet. You're all fucking crazy. I was trying to take the shortcut to peace. Didn't do such a hot job. And then he says, play me a song, I hear you. Continues on, stop mourning my loss. It's time to move on and have your best life. If you move on doesn't mean that you've forgotten me or that you don't love me. You have permission to have a great life. You're free. Don't let me chain you down. Let me push you forward. I wasn't such a great brother, but we had some fun. That's what you remember. Nothing and no one lasts forever. That's why we got to learn to enjoy the moments together. I know I'm a shithead and I've done some stupid stuff, but you're always a part of me. And then does she have a shirt of his? And you talked about one of the sisters has.
Yeah, his one sister does have a shirt of his.
And just know I'm really happy and free now. Let that be enough. I love you, stupid head. Like I said, Bobby's a colorful one.
But that's how he spoke.
Yeah, that was just how he was. And,
yeah.
Even though I only know him from the other side, it really...
his energy definitely still comes through powerfully.
Very much so. And he was even coming in this morning as we were preparing to do that. And it's like, wow, this is going to be a fun one.
Yeah.
So we can move on. This one is to Jess. I want to tell you that I see how brave you are. But you don't always have to be the brave one. It'd be nice if I didn't make so many typos, wouldn't it? You've endured a lot, and it's okay to fall apart once in a while. All this time alone has been good for you. You needed some time to lick your wounds. But come on, it's time to get back to living. It's okay that you're not like everybody else. Embrace that. I'm glad you're different. You're sure as hell not boring. That's what I love about you. You can see through walls. You have magic powers, and it's about time to unleash them, don't you think? You'll always be growing and changing. That's never going to stop. You don't have to wait to get to a finish line before you start living your life again. You're not doing this alone. Hey, baby, remember when you felt joyful and alive, like there was nothing that could stop you? You've been beat up pretty bad by your losses, and life's just fucked up. Okay, let me try that again. You've been beat up pretty bad by your losses, and life's just fucked up a way of shit. Still can't say it. You've been beat up pretty bad by your losses, and life's just fucked up way of showing up. Remember the joy. Remember us. Remember the sense of adventure. I see you getting ready to step back into your life again. I'm right here with you. All of life isn't scary. Jesus Christ. You've already survived the worst. See how tough you are? You have what it takes to step fully back, but you'll do it in your way. People got to hear your story and know who you really are. You got a lot to give. You didn't go through this shit for nothing. Love every moment of this life, even the bad stuff. This life wasn't what I expected, and it isn't what you expected. It's better. Don't miss it. Yeah, I screwed up and I pissed it away, but it was enough for me this time. You were enough for me. God, I love you. I'll never stop loving you. You got to know the love never ends. Earth just screws things up a lot. It's easy to miss it if you're not looking for it. Only look for the love. I'm holding you and you're safe.
That was a good one.
That was a good one. Again, more and more of the flavor of Bobby, and that's kind of why I suggested we do this video. I still catch myself there. He's so alive. he's still so very alive.
And he clearly wants to be heard too.
Oh yes,
because-
he's a bit of a show off. Actually, he was very excited about, and he probably dropped the idea down. Actually, to tell you the truth,
That's probably what it was.
because it came through in the middle of the night in that space where you're awake, you're asleep, in that in between space, and all of a sudden I saw Jess and I doing this video, and I never even imagined doing that. And it's like, okay, I'll throw it out to her, see what she thinks. I didn't know if she'd want to do it or not. So here we are today doing it.
I do have to say, I really think he's getting the hang of being on the other side and putting
absolutely.
ideas into people's minds and communicating, because
He communicates with you all the time.
all the time, but I can feel it getting more refined, if that makes sense. In the beginning, it was sporadic. The connection wasn't as clear when I would try to connect, and now it's been increasing in frequency for both me and Cheryl, getting more vivid. I'm getting clearer messages from him, so I do notice that I wonder if he's getting the hang of.
Well, this last one, like I said, when this one came through, there was a level of what I want to call maturity more in this last message that was just a few days ago. And I was like, oh, this has a little different frequency to it than the other ones.
Yep. Which makes me think that he's, wherever he is, whatever your beliefs are, he's somewhere learning and still expanding, because he's getting wiser, more mature. He's giving messages that are from a higher vantage point.
Well, I think on the other side, I mean, our growing and our evolving doesn't stop.
Yep.
And so whatever that is on the other side of learning, in whatever framework you want to think of it, as a school or whatever, we're seeing it in the messages begin to evolve now too from him, because we hear from him so often.
Now we do.
Now we do. But so I'll go ahead and share this last one, and this was just a few days ago. And I'd already talked to Jess about possibly doing this. I said, it's totally up to you. Doesn't matter to me. If you want to do it, I'll do it with you. So anyway, he says, are you excited? I'm excited. I can't wait for you to talk about me. You know, you've done a good job of keeping me remembered. Not that I'm forgettable. Jess is quite the girl, but she's struggling now. She'll be fine. There's so many layers of stuff to sort through and make sense of, but she's a trooper. She needs to rest and just allow it to happen. Forcing a solution won't work. Her life feels unmanageable, but it's really not. It's about perspective. Her life is never going to look like anyone else's or what anyone else expects from her. And that's what you're learning too.
Yep.
She needs to quit listening to the outside voices and trust herself. This is hard. She really needs the people like her. You guys understand what this is like. You know you don't meet anyone else's expectations. There's no timetable. You don't have to do this and that by such and such an age. You are timeless. Look at me. I didn't stay long, but I did what my soul needed to do. No shit. Let's have some fun. No more doom and gloom. I want people to know it's not over when your body dies. I want people to know you can be happy now. Just change your mind. I know that seems too simple, but it is. Change your mind and have gratitude. I kind of missed that boat, but I got it now. Yeah, maybe I'm a slow learner. I do appreciate you listen to me. I'm always watching over Jess and my family. My sisters need some dating advice.
Just one sister. One of his sisters is married, but
We had to laugh at that. Like, that sounds really random. Mama, I know you did your best. This wasn't your fault. I take full responsibility for the dumb shit I did. No one else is to blame. Let yourself off the hook. And then he says, Pops, we had some fun. Don't blame yourself either. It was supposed to be this way. Being human was too hard for me. I gave it a shot. Celebrate your time together, but don't let it drag you down. Good grief. You can't get rid of me, Patches. And he called his dad Pops, I guess.
Yep,
But
yeah.
I didn't know that. Make room in your heart for more love. Don't let this shut you down. Life is full of love. I didn't see what was right under my nose. Don't miss it. And then I felt like there might be somebody new coming into their lives. And then he says, Elizabeth, and mentions the shirt. Do not make a shrine to me. Position yourself in a way to receive. I don't know what that means yet. You will do work in my name. Don't be afraid to tell your story and show your pain. It's okay to let people see that. You'll work together, meaning the sisters. And we didn't find out what that was or that. And then, but he mentions an orange Julius, the beach, and more education. And you want to talk about that?
I haven't confirmed what the orange Julius means. The beach thing, his and I's fondest memories were going to the beach together, the Outer Banks in North Carolina. So that's what that is. But the more education, one of Bobby's insecurities was that he always told me he felt dumb, like his brain wasn't working properly like everybody else's. And he would like make jokes that he was slow and, you know, belonged in special ed, but he wished that he had more education.
He definitely was not slow.
No, he wasn't.
Not at all.
That's the thing. He was a genius, but his brain worked differently than other people's. So he would compare himself.
Right?
He was dyslexic, yeah. So he would compare himself to, you know, the average person, and that made him feel dumb, but he was a genius in reality.
Yeah, I have people in my family that are dyslexic, and that's a very common feeling, like they're dumb. It's just because they learn differently.
Right.
They're not dumb at all. And then I was seeing a ladder, going up on a ladder, like maybe into a secret place.
Yeah, and he worked on a ladder every day. That was his job. Like I said, he was a painter and a contractor, and he had this really tall ladder that he would get on and like jump up and down to scare people.
He was kind of ornery too, obviously.
Yeah, he was. So that's what the ladder was in reference to. But yeah, so those are just a few of the messages Cheryl got over the past year from Bobby.
Do you have any other stories you want to share while we're here?
Oh gosh, there's too many stories to even
anything in your memory box that you want to share?
Mention. I don't know. He was just, there's too many to be honest, but he was just so fun. Like he and I, one of our favorite activities together was exploring abandoned houses. And when we lived in Pennsylvania, there were no shortage of abandoned, rundown, creepy places to explore. And we would go to these old abandoned mental asylums. And I guess I'll share the story about the Heart Rock. We went to explore this abandoned asylum, and when we were hiking up there to get there, we found a rock shaped perfectly like a heart, which I do have here in the box. And so last night, I suddenly got the urge to look through my little Bobby memory box that I have in honor of him, and I found the Heart Rock. And right when I pulled the Heart Rock out, his mom texted me out of the blue, and I hadn't talked to her in weeks prior to, and she texted me out of the blue with a memory about that exact Heart Rock. So it's clear that Bobby's sneaking his way into our brains.
The synchronicities add up. They really do add up.
Yeah.
They really do add up.
So I don't think it was any coincidence that I got that urge to go through the memory box at that exact time and pull out that Heart Rock at that exact time. But yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to more messages from Bobby, because I know he'll show up because he likes to be heard. That's obvious.
Yep.
And I appreciate that he talks.
And
to me and you.
I appreciate that you listen, and he does too. I can tell he really appreciates
he tells
that you.
Me thank you.
Yep.
And I just think this was a wonderful opportunity to pay tribute to a wonderful soul.
Yeah.
And someone that had so much influence in Jess's life. You know, I haven't known you but a couple of years, but and also I hope that that's healing for his family too. But also I think it was important to kind of shine a light on this roller coaster ride of addiction. And how difficult it is and how tragic it ends up sometimes. But we still love. The love still continues. The love never ends. And that's the part we need to remember to focus on.
Yep.
So, are you complete, Jess?
I think I'm complete for now. Maybe one day there will be another Bobby video part 2.
Well, there very well could be.
Yep.
But thank you so much for joining me on Tapping In with Cheryl. Have a wonderful day.